Alright, guys, man, we're back, man. We're talking about Channel Zero. Channel Zero, No End House premiere. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hands up, thumbs up, bravo. I would say like maybe 7.5 stars out of 10. It wasn't a 10 out of 10. It wasn't scary at all. There wasn't anything, how do you want to say it? There wasn't anything... They didn't push the limits this time, man. You know, they could have done a whole lot more. You know, I think to myself, I say, what if FX would have gotten its hands on the rights for Channel Zero, No End House? What could the possibility be? And it would have been some epic storytelling, you know, scenes, you know, never before seen stuff on TV, very graphic. Sci-fi, it seemed like they played it really close. You know, there wasn't any risk involved in this one, man. No risk involved. Seriously, man, this could have been like some Final Destination. Harder than that. For some reason, these kids just want to continue going forward. No one wants to be the one that says, hey, I'm a little bit wiser than the rest of the group. Why are these kids that are coming out of the house throwing up, vomiting, crying, you know, really broken down? Do I really want to risk my life? You know? And then there's a guy who was a little bit older, it looks like an army veteran. And this soldier guy says, you might want to leave now. You know, get out of here while you can. Just get out of here while there's still a chance. He warns them. But these young kids, for some reason, they continue forward into this house, man. And it's just a random house on a random road. Blacked out house. Black doors, you know, it looks creepy. It looks like a haunted house, a mansion, if you will. Not really a mansion, but it's just like a regular house. But it looks haunted. It looks like you know, a crazy person or you know, like Leatherface would live there. And it's like, why would you go in there? Just to be cool, just to go viral or something? I don't know. But they go in there, and when you go inside the first room, there is a recreation of your face onto this white, like a mannequin head, if you will. And it's just right about here. The silhouette is right about here, from here all the way up. And it recreates your face. And then after that, the lights go out. All right, so the lights go out, it goes black. When it comes back on, your head is cracked open, and there's these hands that are ripping your head apart. Okay, so your face is cracked open. There's these hands that are grabbing inside of your mouth and inside of your brains and guts and blood coming out. And if that doesn't get you to, you know, step back and say, okay, exit now, I don't know what else will, because they continue going forward to room number 2. Room number 2, they get in there, and that's when it gets to the point where you've got to be an insane person to continue on. Alright, so you get inside of this room, and this looks like something out of Saw, to be honest. It looks like something out of the Saw franchise. There's this blue room. Almost looks like something that is in a bottom of a ship. A large ship. And what they do is... Let me clean that off. There it is, a lot better. What they do is they... everybody's kind of looking around. There's really nothing inside of that room. It's just an empty room. And has like light blue, baby blue walls. And once again, the lights, you know, cut out, turns black, come back in. And then there's this guy standing in the corner. So he's standing like right up in there, in that corner right there. Okay, he's standing right there. And he's not saying anything. He has this weird mask that's covering his face. He almost looks like a Scarecrow off of Batman. You know, DC Comics. Hello? Was that somebody back there? You better step out now. Yeah, that scared me. I'll be scaring myself when I start talking about this stuff. Hello? Don't you play games? Alright. Yo, that's what I'm saying, man. Don't talk about this stuff. All right. So the guy is the guy sitting there in the corner, has this scarecrow mask over his face, not saying nothing. And then he starts walking towards the group of young teenagers and the army vet. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he pushes one of the kids. Walks right up to him, man, just punks him. You know, boom, right up in his face, you know, like pushes him. You know, the kid doesn't do anything to him, which I think is smart. Me, I would have destroyed him, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, let's get this guy. You know, the whole entire group would have jumped on him, and we probably would have all been massacred at that point. But we never know because we don't know who this guy is. Then he walks around the room. He goes to the main character, and I'll tell you about her in a second. I don't really... How do you want to say it? If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, let's just say that this is a prequel to the season of The Walking Dead where Morgan's character gets trained by a master sensei. That master sensei is inside of this show, and this is his story prior to The Walking Dead happening, okay? Yeah, I like that. I kind of put that together. But anyway, he walks up to her, the main character. He starts whispering something. We don't really know what it is until the very end. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out again. Comes back in, and there's a trail of blood from the front of the room all the way to the back. And then it disappears underneath a wall. It's just a trail of blood, like almost like a body was dragged out of there. But we don't know. We don't know what happened. He just disappears. And then one of the people, they leave, you know, at that point. This girl, she's like, I'm out of here. We lose one girl who really wasn't that interesting in the first room. So out of, let's say there's 8, we're now down to 6. And I think it was actually 5 left over, but I don't know. It really wasn't that interesting. Like I said, it was boring. But yeah, anyway, she leaves, and then after that, they continue on to room number 3. When they get to room number 3, I'm thinking, if I can remember correctly, it's been a little bit of time, but I think that room number 3 was one at a time. Yes, room number 3 is one at a time. So the only difference is the door number. It'll say 3, and then right above the door, it'll say 1 at a time. So it's one of those, you know, circulating, heading into a, I don't know, somewhere in New York. Let's just say that, you know, heading into a retail store in New York. Hello. Like, you don't know, like Dillard's, or Macy's or something like that. I don't know. But it's one of those, you know, rotating doors where, you know, you just go up one at a time. And, yeah. Anyway, they go in there one at a time, and when you go to the other side of the door, when you go inside of room number 3, you kind of disappear and go into another realm. And you're not with your friends anymore, the people that you came inside of there with. So I guess your story begins in room number 3. So in room number 3, we get to a moment where Channel Zero and Sci-Fi could give us, as fans, one of the best moments on television, okay? They can give us one of the scariest moments of 2017. They can beat out, you know, Annabelle Creations. They can beat out It. You know, they can beat out American Horror Story. They can go for the gold. So we get into room number 3. It's a giant long hallway, something out of like The Shining. It just keeps going on and on and on. And at the end of the hallway, there's a mirror. So you're seeing your reflection back into it, okay? So you're looking at your reflection. There is something creepy on the other side of the mirror. And you start hearing this, you know, like the shaking of the mirror, and then, you know, like this laughing. So it's like... So you're hearing all that, you know, this creepy laughs, and she starts walking forward. Like, for me, I would have probably, you know, grabbed this vase off of this shelf, and I would have slit my wrist, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, broken something to where I could defend myself. But she just walks up there, man, bold. She walks up there very hesitant, of course, you know what I'm saying? But she's bold. She's like, I'm going for it. And then the camera, here's the mirror right here. All right, so let's put it right about here. The camera starts to pan and go to the other side of the mirror. All right, So you're walking, you go to the other side of the mirror. There's this guy's face. So let's say it's like this, okay? So here's the mirror. All right, right about there. Let's go right about there. So the camera pans over, and then this is what you see. You know, you see that. You see this weird guy on the other side. It's not nothing creepy. He almost looked like just a regular dude. Maybe like just a creepy old man, you know what I'm saying? Like a creepy middle-aged 45-year-old, 50-year-old, something like that, you know what I'm saying? He was just an older guy, real sweaty, and he just kind of followed her, laughing and stuff, and that was it. I was just like, oh, what a letdown. I thought when they would go to the other side of the mirror, there was going to be like a faceless man, a reflection of her. Would have been really nice to see. Anything other than what the hell that was. And maybe we'll find out later on in the episode, you know, or the season, you know, what's going on with this guy. Maybe, you know, she has history with this guy. Who knows? But it was just a missed opportunity. I don't know. I really don't. God, man, that was terrible. It was just a really bad episode, man. Anyway, we head in from room number 3. She's about to exit, and then she hears her friend yell out to her. She's like, you know, I don't know, Katie, Megan, Rebecca, or something. I don't even know her name. Chastity, or something. I don't know. But anyway, she calls whatever the main character's name is, and then she goes into room number 4. Now, room number 4, I said to myself, when we get to this no-end house, this new season, I said, there has to be something Illuminati. There has to be something occult. And that's what we get inside of room number 4, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to, you know, to Jay-Z, man. Shout out to Hove, you know? Shout out to Kanye West. Shout out to all the celebrities out there that had the mind control and the MK Ultra, yo. Like, that's pretty much what it was, man. You get into this room, they close the door behind you, it's a pyramid, and your life is pretty much on display inside of this room. And you have a choice, man, whether you'll continue or you'll end. And the only way to really get closure is to go through the door. And that's what happens, man. We get into that room number 4. We head into the next room, which is room number 5. And I don't want to spoil this, but the main character, she gets to see the sensei from The Walking Dead, you know, Morgan Sensei. Something happened to him. I don't want to spoil it. Because this is the aspect of the show that I really, really liked, and that's why it has such a high rating of 7.5. The reason why is because at the end of that episode, you know, you get to face your fears inside of room number 5. And she really did face her fear. I'm not going to tell you what she did because it plays into season 1. Not necessarily that you have to watch season 1. What I'm talking about is that the television plays a major role inside of, you know, Channel Zero. And it plays a role inside of, you know, No In-House. And she was able to face her fears and almost embrace her past in order to move forward in her future, you know. And that's kind of how I took away from that scene, man, is she's been holding on to this moment with a lot of regrets, and she gets to say goodbye, I guess you can say, you know. I didn't really give that away, but no, that's because you don't know what she's saying goodbye to, or whatever. But anyway, it happens, there's an embrace, and then she escapes. And before she leaves, this thing, or whatever you want to call it, it says, in order to leave the house, in order to leave and go back out to regular society, you have to, you know, go through the final door. You have to get through door number 6, I guess you can say. And that's when she rushes outside to quit, and she runs into her best friend. And then her and her best friend have this idea to where they can, you know, go home. They try to go start the car. The car doesn't start. The rest of their friends are not finished with No In-House. So they decide, okay, well, let's just go back home. So they start walking back home. It's a sunny day. It's, you know, it turns back to like reality, if you will. And then I mean, it looks like a really, really cool neighborhood, man. I said to myself, I was like, man, I wouldn't mind, getting a home loan, 30-year mortgage in that neighborhood. How about that? I wanted to kind of live there, on that block, because it seems so perfect. And then, she opens her door, and then before she goes inside, she asks her friend, she's like, hey, you want to stay over tonight? She's like, yeah, sure. And then she just has to go do something at her house or whatever. And then she walks into her home, and then everything's good to go. And then all of a sudden you hear this whistling, as she's walking upstairs, you hear whistling. She's in her home alone, from what we think, and then the whistling starts. And that's when I'm just like, that's when I pretty much lose it, because it was a really, really good scene, man. And just knowing that actor, and having that relationship, with The Walking Dead, and just, it was like a fan moment. I said to myself, yo, this is what, his life was like, prior to, The Walking Dead, and this is his family moment. And it was kind of cool to see him, alive, because he's dead on The Walking Dead. He's gone. I'm sorry about that. I didn't really mean to spoil that, but he's gone. That's just the way it is, man. And he went out beautifully, man. Morgan, he gave Morgan all his knowledge. He gave that society, that world, all of his knowledge, and Morgan will pass that on to many, many disciples, for a long, long time, for however long this undead apocalypse lasts. It was really peaceful how he went out, but he's living now inside of Channel Zero, No In-House, and beautiful, beautiful moment, man. So, he says something to this character that will go back to room number 3 or 2, whatever, the one where the guy with the mask, I think that was number 2. Yeah, that was number 2. And so he says the same exact thing, and that's what triggers, you're like, oh snap, it's all connected. Oh my gosh, all the rooms are connected. And that's when you just lose it, man. And now you kind of understand the concept of this this whole thing. I don't want to tell you what happened at the very, very beginning of the episode, because that's like major spoilers for what I'm hoping is going to happen at the end of the season, to kind of explain all that and wrap it all up. But it was good, man. The ending was good. The beginning was good. It's just all of the middle parts and inside of the rooms. Maybe just for that character, it was terrible. I would have made a better decision to maybe have something, a little bit more violent. I'm not saying that television needs violence, unnecessarily, but you need to be entertained. Television is the escapism platform. Not saying that you need to escape your reality, because that's stupid. You should be trying to live the best reality inside of your present reality here. Here, where I'm at right now. Not in the YouTube universe, not on the internet, bro. You gotta live your best life right now. That's what I'm trying to say. But you shouldn't need to escape. Like, oh, my life is crap, man. I better go watch, Channel Zero right now. No. I'm talking about, it needs to be fun, It needs to be a reason, I'm coming home from my 9 to 5, bro. I got a beer in my hand. I need to sit down and watch something cool. It needs to be something good. And I think that's what they kind of missed up on, man. But the characters were relatable. I like the characters. I just feel like maybe the director didn't really give them direction. Maybe the script didn't just allow them to just have fun, So we'll see what happens for episode 2. And like I said, when I did my review for season 1, if it doesn't get better for episode 2, I won't review it. I'll just move on with life. Okay. Next episode that I'm going to be reviewing is the season finale of Sinner. That's probably going to take about an hour to go over, because I really, really love that show. I mean, just excellent, man. Excellent, excellent show. A lot of people don't like it, just like Mother. Okay? You're either going to love the center or you're going to hate it. All right? And more than likely, a lot of people, the majority of people, especially here in America, you know, with all of their hypocrisy, they're going to hate this show even before watching it. But anyway, we're going to review it. We're going to talk about it. Once again, man, 7.5 stars out of 10 stars for Channel Zero, No End House. Highly recommend it, man. If you enjoyed season 1, you're going to enjoy season 2 because it's a lot of the same. A lot of the same stuff, man. Same angles, same cinematography, same hue and saturation, which is really, really weird. I didn't know they were going to do that. But yes, same dark elements, all that stuff. You know, it's all there. It's just something's missing. Don't know what. Maybe the fear. The fear is probably missing. You know, I guess with kids it's a lot different. Season 1 was kids, and I watched that. I binge watched all of that. So maybe that's it. Anyway, man, that's out of here. That's it. Okay. Hello? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?